Good morning, everyone. It is about 10 o'clock here on Friday, and I came out to see, of course, what was blooming in the garden. And I found one of the winter romance that had bloomed. She is quite lovely. She's not a pure stark white, but she's pretty darn close. You can see a little bit of yellowing here on the edges in the back. Her beard is sort of a tangerine orange. Her standards have a little bit of color here on the rib. And if you look, there's a little bit of striping in here that has just a light faded color. She's quite pretty. If you're after pure white, it's not quite as white as I was expecting it to be, but it's very lovely. It doesn't really have a scent. I was kind of disappointed in that, but it's pretty. And I do have two more that are about to bloom and several of these here. So, you know, as a display, if you're wanting something white in your garden, it definitely shows up white. It's quite pretty. This is a Locketel. It's a 2019. It gets up to 27 inches tall, early to mid-season bloomer. Nice straight stalk. It's a border bearded. She's very pretty. I was expecting a little more white. As you can see, there's a little bit of yellowish color. But you know, sometimes the pure colors are very difficult to come by in nature. Even some of the others that have white standards have a little bit of lavender on them. I did notice yesterday that this keeps going, and look how pretty she is now that she has 3 blooms on. Isn't she gorgeous? I showed her in a video yesterday, so if you haven't seen that one, go check that out. But she smells very lovely. She is quite a sweet scent to her, and I loved that. Also, surprisingly enough, this crow's feet, which is also in yesterday's video here, also has a beautiful sweet scent. And that I was very pleased with, because so far I think this has to be one of my favorite bloomers here in the garden. And she's just gorgeous. And I did notice today that this one here, which is Parting Glances, and I showed her earlier this week, this beautiful blue lavender with the blue beards. Man, she's just beautiful. Isn't she stunning? Just gorgeous. Anyway, she has a sweet scent too. So if you're one of those who actually likes the smell of your flowers, to go by and just give them a little sniff, these are absolutely some that you should have in your garden. Just gorgeous. But I think the Winter Romance, I'm looking real fast, which is here, is the only real new bloomer I have in the garden today. Oh no, I see another one. I do see another one. We'll go back and check her out. But you could see here with these 3 that are coming up and the ones behind them, they would make a very pretty display of white. Absolutely they would. I can't wait. These should probably be up tomorrow, and then you'll get to see what those would really look like. This here, oh goodness, I just love these. Never thought I was much of a purple person. Everybody likes the purples, but I get it. These are just beautiful. I do enjoy earth tones, and I see an earth tone one here that is up that I didn't catch here a minute ago. Oh, we've already seen this one this week. I'm thinking it's Caesarean Cinnamon. I am really bad at this particular name. It's from Chacan, and it has a nice rust color if you like earth tones. Let's see, does it have a scent? Not really. Not really. Not one that I would find lovely anyway. Our Warrior Prince is still blooming. Still amazing. Let's see. Chain Reaction has put on a nice bloom. Isn't she pretty? Now, Chain Reaction with the Cicerone Cinnamon together would be quite pretty together if you do enjoy the earth tones. Let me see if I can show that a little bit there. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I can quite get those two together in the same image. But they would look very lovely together, as would these here. One of those at least is probably fire. And then you've got the Chain Reaction here. Now I do see that something popped and I want to inspect it because of what had happened with the other one that bloomed out of this rhizome. And there you go. 3 up. 3. Come on, let me get it. 3 down. Okay, so this one here that had bloomed had, let me see because I want to get it right. I believe that it was 5 falls with beards and 7 standards on it. And that was this one right here. But the one that bloomed from the same stem has 3 falls and 3 standards. This gorgeous plum and lavender color with this blue beard. Just gorgeous. And this is a Paul Black. Absolutely beautiful. So that absolutely proves to me that they do self-correct. That was just a little freak of nature and not expected to come out of that, but still it was very beautiful. It was pretty showy. And I enjoyed seeing that a lot. Let's see. This says it's fire. Let me see if I see a difference between these. Okay, very burgundy falls, a little bit of a burgundy spot, very fluffy orange beards, quite pretty. And then I've got another one here that's orange arc. It has a little bit more striping. It has a yellow beard, kind of the same rusty color falls. It is missing one of its standards. That's interesting. Irises are so interesting to me. But there should be another standard right here, and it's just gone. But, you know, next year or the next bloom, it'll be fine. Absolutely fine. It is very similar in color to fire. Maybe not as deep burgundy. And then we have Mr. Sparky here that has a deeper color fall. It has a fluffier yellow beard. Let's see what else here. The standards are very stripy, which the standards on the others are not. That's interesting. Oh goodness, sorry. Very interesting. Huh. So you can look at these and you can see that they are different. I was a little concerned that I had gotten some of these mixed up, but in looking at them, their beards, their falls, and their standards are all very different. A little unfortunate that I have all 3 of them right there together. I do have one in between these 2, which is Little Miss Magic, and it looks nothing like these 2, so that's good. But how about that? However, if you needed some and you couldn't get all of the same kind, you could certainly plant all these together. And most people, I don't think, would even notice. All right, there's one behind me that's bloomed. Let's see. Well, they're lovely, but they do not have a scent. These here is Desert Snow. They are Desert Snow, excuse me. But they do not have a scent, but they are gorgeous. Certainly would look good, oh goodness, in any purple and white garden. I see a lot here that I would mix together and make a beautiful display out of. And I see a new one back here that has bloomed. We saw this one yesterday, which is Western Sage. It is still beautiful, still putting on a show. Let's see. It does have a sweet scent and just gorgeous. I am pleased that it has a sweet scent. If you want to know more information about it, it is on yesterday's video. This one is new, and look at this. They are all going to pop about the same time. That's wonderful. Daybreak Over the Rockies. It's a Rennet 2018, intermediate bearded, mid-season, gets up to 20 inches tall. And this one's a little different. If you like the greens and the yellows and the lavenders, look how pretty she is. That is just beautiful. Has sort of a smoky gray lavender here, a pretty good landing stripe for the insects. The beard is lavender, and can you see that? Let's see. Kind of a gold yellow in the background. It's kind of hard to see down in there. I'm so sorry. Never feel like I'm facing the right way to show that coloration. The standards are very lavender, very pretty. Man, that's stunning. That's very unique. Not something you see every day. This little landing stripe here is a coloration that's desired for if you're wanting the insects to pollinate or come in and help hybridize. They can land here, walk down the beard to this area here, and the pollen is underneath there. Can you see that right there? The pollen is underneath there. And they go in there and they hide, they walk around, they collect the pollen. And then they fly to the next one. And if you're fortunate, they will pollinate the same kind. And sometimes you end up with seeds, sometimes you don't. But this is going to make a stunning display. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The one that's open is the 9th one that is fixing to bloom. And that's just going to be beautiful. Daybreak Over the Rockies, 2018, 20 inches tall, mid-season bloomer, intermediate bearded, 2 minutes. Just gorgeous. And let's see, I do see a few more that will be finally blooming back here. And this one here. But none of them are open yet, which is disappointing, but that's okay. Quite all right. Okay, let's see. I'm sure you're wondering if my Luxor Gold has bloomed yet, and that answer is no, unfortunately. But I can see it way back there, that bright yellow just taunting me, wanting to open. Oh, goodness, it's just saying I'm going to be gorgeous, and it probably is going to be gorgeous. I'll show you something if y'all can see this, but it's getting closer. You can see now that I have 2 blooms that are going to open up on it, and that color is just stunning. And it's super tall, tall bearded. But I don't know if you can see this. Let me see here. We've got it focused up. That's the Luxor Gold. And then back here, let's see if I can zoom in. Right there, I have a Yellow Rose of Texas that is going to be opening today. And they are almost the same color. Just fabulous. But not yet. Maybe tonight. Most likely tomorrow morning. But if it is, that will be on my Saturday morning video. And that will be just a fabulous stunner. All right. Well, that is it for this morning. I've got errands to run. Fortunately, my dog is behaving himself today. You can see some of the ones that I showed you earlier. We've got Winter Romance, Keep Going, Crow's Feet, do love that I can see quite a bit of color throughout the garden. So pretty. Hoping to get to the point that I can start expanding the garden and moving some things here shortly. Back over this way, still don't have it tilled up. The rain has not been very friendly to me for that. But I have gotten some things cleaned up around here. But okay, all right. Well, you guys have a great day. I will talk to you soon. Let me know if you have any questions. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Show other people who love irises what's coming. Oh, I just saw something I don't like. I did. You are not something I want there. Let's see if I can get something to move you off of there. Nope. Nope. Had some of those guys tear up some mums of mine last year. But I started out on Winter Romance, so I guess I should end on her today. She is quite lovely, quite pretty. All right. Well, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Bye now.